into it. We don't need a countdown.
Hello, every pony.
Hello, every pony. We're playing the game. Let's see, is there anything? Nope. Alright. We didn't stream on Wednesday.
Sorry,
because
we skipped White Girl Wednesday.
we skipped White Girl Wednesday.
White Girl Wednesday was a election recovery day.
Yeah. It was.
But we are here for Joshi Friday.
We're here on Fujoshi Friday, and we plan to merge the two holidays. They are already similar in some ways, so...
Just maybe don't tell Yaoi Friday right away.
Don't tell Yaoi Friday right away.
We're gonna have to ease them into it.
Yeah. Oh my god. So, where do we even start? It's been a busy week.
Yeah, maybe we could change our title real quick. Unless we're gonna talk about Nendroid.
Oh shoot. oh, diggity darn.
This is what happens when Zep doesn't check do the countdown timer in the beginning.
Yeah, anyways, we're gonna talk about Nendroids for 5 hours today. No, we're gonna talk about a different...
Wait, why did...
Bionicle lecture.
Maher try to lay down Riz on Hawk Tuah.
Can you change it to like broadcasted Bionicle lecture? Then we shorten it to BL.
Bionicle broadcast lecture? BBL, yeah?
I don't know. I need something.
Okay, we're driving in Tokyo, the one place in the world.
Driving is
that is also that driving is illegal.
That's true.
Everyone in this video is breaking the law. They are being hunted down by the Japanese anti-driving task force.
You speak.
Yeah. Why do the roads like Mario Kart?
Oh.
I think it's just the fact that like there's just always all the same signage. It's the signs that are getting it for me.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a turn.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you're getting a lot out of this.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't have much to get a lot out of.
It's a real thing Japan moment.
It's true. Me when I point at it and go, whoa, there it is.
Let's go to creator dashboard. Let's go to stream manager. Okay.
God, why did that happen? I know we're gonna get into it again, but like, oh my God, we have so many things to talk about. So many.
And none of them are the election. A Nazi one. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
True. Like, we don't even have to bring up politics. We still have so much.
Speaking about a Nazi winning, let's talk about someone losing.
Oh, new norm?
Oh shit, we could have talked about both new norms. There's two new norms out. New norms, I mean. One called electile dysfunction, where they try to go on to rocket ships to escape America after the election.
Very Elon and Trump Yowie heavy episode.
Yeah, that was kind of the only thing worth noting in that.
Yeah.
'Cause I couldn't find the joke. It just never happened, I don't think.
And then the next episode is about the election itself, and the final message in both of them is like, don't vote centrism. Like, not as in don't vote for centrism. It like the kind of centrism that demands not voting, which I think is really silly. The final message of both of them was like, you're not so different, you and I. And it's really, really strange for the first episode's normal beer anti-trans message. Now,
Well-
granted, the rest of it is also just super, super, like, transphobic the entire time, but, like, just, like, it's strange that the final message is, like, can't we all get along?
Yeah.
Hey, New Norm, get the fuck out of my politics. When did New Norm get so political?
When did New Norm get so political? Yeah,
No,
that's
it's
true.
true.
Anyways, Bill Maher tried to fuck Hawk Tuah girl. Let's watch it.
I'm sure you should be nervous.
I would-
It doesn't seem like you are.
I
Right.
don't want to see this again.
You shouldn't be. You're gonna have the best time.
I'll try.
Oh,
Well-
gosh.
You're 21.
Yep.
What the hell is this set, honestly?
Listen, something extraordinary happened to you, and you have an extraordinary.
Frost, you did
opportunity.
not spell Kyodai wrong.
And
Those
you
are
take
both
those
valid
decisions today,
spellings.
You'll come out here really with a lot of knowledge of how to handle this because it's very unique. What happened?
It's not very unique.
So
This
is why
happens
you
to
should be
people all the
listening
time.
Closely today, because you're going to get a lot
Listen
of
to this old man
Okay.
I have a
who's
feeling.
drinking
So
a
here's the
full
first
bottle
thing,
of alcohol.
Now that I think.
Oh
about
my god, I didn't
it, that we have
notice
to do.
that. Oh my god,
Um,
blurring on mine.
what?
Oh
made
god.
you,
Was that sus
suddenly
alcohol?
famous?
Did that alcohol say sus? No, let's go back.
It's warning us.
Oh, 818? Damn,
Ah.
it's not sus alcohol. Never mind.
Suddenly
It's not
famous.
cool.
No, but it is very
Nothing to be
expensive. He's doing the
But now
dentist
we have to move
system.
I agree.
But again, we got to get away from Hawk to Haley.
Mm-hmm.
You did.
He thought he was clever there.
Right here on Club Rand.
And she has a white
If you do
claw.
it my way.
That's a high dude, even.
If you do it my way, sex.
Sex expert.
Sex
And I'll
expert.
No, I'll tell you why. Trade-
True.
I love
am a
how
sex-
I love how she fucking like cringes and they have to cut to later because clearly she like cussed him the fuck out or something, right?
She's just like, what the hell are you saying?
Like clearly she lost her shit because like
Oh
let's
my
let's do
God.
a little bit of advanced hating. Let's go before the cut.
This set is
and I'll
upsetting.
I'll tell you
Yeah.
why. Trade on what you.
Yeah. There's no continuity between the shots. The continuity broke, meaning that they had to
So rad.
either they cut to that or she had a reaction that they had to later. Oh my
Edit.
god. That's so funny.
You're already known for.
Also, why is Bill Maher's book on the ground? Gotta advertise always.
That's the one thing. you're
That's
known
true. I just love his male living
No idea what I'm gonna
on
say.
that.
I don't know. I don't know where this is going. I'm
Okay,
kind
I'm
of
gonna
nervous.
tell you.
There's so much shit on that table.
I don't know where this is going. I'm kind of nervous. This is the kind of things that, like, you know, women tell their bartender to, like, hey, could you, like, call the police and then go back to the table and wait for their drink? This is the kind of
Yeah.
behavior that makes them do that.
Yeah.
Where it's going. You. learned
What the
that
fuck
thing
is
about
going
speed.
on here?
How do you get the angel shot for, like, fucking being on
mean,
Bill Maher?
You know, you're adorable. You're cute.
What?
It's just.
Straight up kill this man if I was in this situation.
Me when I just start saying my American Psycho monologue out loud.
Wow, and you're not married? She just fucking got him. This is the ISIS beheading part of the video.
Woman.
Oh, honey.
He's like,
say what you will. Say
Oh,
what
women.
you will about Haley Welch, Hawk Tuah girl. She killed Bill Maher in this moment. Let's redo that.
I think it's like a second feminist movement, truly.
Oh,
How do
honey.
you
She
feel
got
about
him.
that?
If
she
you
got
only
him.
Knew the first thing about.
Ladies and gentlemen, we fucking got
First
him.
thing about you.
Well, then I wouldn't be with
I'm
him.
not gonna call Paul or nothing, but hey, I'm trying to throw something
Yeah,
together.
Absolutely. Oh,
my
boy.
God. Later, is he lighting
That-
up a cigarette? He got so upset. Oh my god.
And then he tries to recover with like, is that like Tennessee for daddy? And then she goes into like, no, it's for grandpa. Although I would call you papa.
You know?
Oh, I see.
I might call you grandpappy, but I ain't gonna call you pawpaw.
Oh my god. and then they had to cut recording because he hung himself on stage. And then they finally got him down.
What's your last name?
Welch.
I knew that. I was.
It was a failed attempt, by the way.
Your last name early.
I don't expect you to know me. Most of the country does, bitch.
Someone kill this man. Not actually,
Like-
not really. Twitch, don't take it down. But someone kill this man in
Like,
Fortnite.
I would gladly beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's
Okay, he's on weed all the time. He should be on some bitches his own age.
Yeah.
Anyways,
That's true.
here's a
He
Hawk
should be
Tuah
in the
short
retirement home.
talking about Bill Maher.
I saw
I'm pretty
the Bill
sure.
Maher interview, and I just thought it was interesting how, his
They're using the Built by Gamers song in this, by the way.
They are just the white women built by gamers.
immediate idea for you is to do a sex podcast. But I think it's interesting how, your viral moment happened to be a funny comment that was related to
'Cause, like,
sex. But because you're a woman, it's like people automatically are like, well, you should do OnlyFans or you should do, a sex podcast. And I feel like if a guy would have had a viral moment over that, people would have been like, oh, you're so funny. You should just
Exactly.
stand up.
But I'm a girl,
for you,
so
it's like
different.
OnlyFans and sex podcast. I saw the Bill
I think that's a fair enough point to make. I also, yeah.
God, the Hawk podcast is so progressive.
The Hawk Tuah podcast, so progressive. Anyways, buy crypto. Do sports betting.
True. Always and forever.
Super Daft Bros is brought to you by Steak.com.
It's true. It's true. We could watch this one.
We could. You're like dangling keys.
Let's skip to another white woman. I found this white woman clip. We just take white woman clips from the front page of like this browser instance. And since we've only been watching like toy videos and like white women, it is only like Beyblade videos, like Japanese Beyblade reviews specifically, and like white women shorts. It's so good. I want to broaden out.
All you need.
Truly the two wolves inside us.
I truly like all women shorts. We'll see if the algorithm allows that. All right,
I
let's.
my main algorithm for this one.
I mean, we could log into like the Super Daft Brothers like VOD account once it. Well, I mean, we have the YouTube channel. We haven't started uploading VODs there yet. We'll probably wait until these streams become like actually super
Yeah.
goodish. Not really, but we'll wait for a little bit until like we get 2-minute long shorts, and then we'll start uploading VODs, and then we can start uploading like actual quality shorts. And anyways, what's going on with why this woman wears a brown contact?
To the people that keep asking me why I like to wear a brown contact over both of my blue eyes, I'm going to take out the contact to show you guys why. It's because I like gaslighting people.
That's very good. I support women in gaslighting. I think it's their God-given right.
So fucking true, though.
So true. Anyways, for this next clip that I found, we're going to have to... There should do it. We're on Twitch. There should do it.
Yeah?
Let's see if that did it. Yeah, that should do it. We're not going to press play.
I feel like this is only making it worse.
Yeah.
now you're like, now
The fuck are you playing here?
I'm not playing anything. That's very important. We're not playing anything.
Stop playing this fucking dumb game right now. Stop playing the game.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this video, this woman is working with clay, in a very suggestive and sensual way, and also, as this comment says that we also can't see. I guess I'll move the chat. We'll just read this aloud. She's absolutely beautiful, and I love the fact that her headlights are always on high beam. Lol. Anyone else looking for the high beams? They're right there.
Okay, you know what my favorite part about this is, though? Just these men fawning over her. Meanwhile, she doesn't even look like she's into it at all. Like, I love the sheer indifference on her end. Meanwhile, these people are like, this would be life to me.
Imagine lying in bed with those eyes gazing at you while you gaze at those perfect Twin Peaks. Can people be normal? Can people be normal?
No.
Okay.
No.
Good morning. Wow. What an amazing morning it is. Your expressive eyes and the background music make it even more amazing. Like, we sometimes get comments like this on like Zepisodes. Like, there's a saga where someone was really wanting me to wear a dress in our comments. And I'm not sure if all of those comments are still up. I think I took a fair bit of them down because I thought it was weird.
Man. Boy, would they be shocked now. At least one deaf brother is wearing dresses.
I'm now thinking of a video where the description called Maya from Persona 2 Sexylicious. That's about the level of Riz that we see here, is like descriptors that like 2000s webcomic characters would describe female video game characters with. Like, this is some real Tomb Raider descriptions. This is how they would describe Lara Croft.
How old do you think most of these commenters are? Like, what's the average age?
Well, we should look at some of their profile pictures.
Under 14, over
I would say
40.
like 14 to like 37.
No, there's a gap. There's a gap. Because it's like,
true, there is. Because there's
like
the people that like are in
16
college
and under.
like, hustling,
And then there's
working that
like
job.
late 20s, especially once you hit like 40s, it accelerates.
Yeah, quarter life crisis, midlife crisis. Is one way to
What a
put
little
it.
cutie. I love art.
Sure, I bet you sure do.
Your Pookies are a masterpiece. Whatever this says.
I'm just gonna say there are so many better ways to compliment a woman that are not any of these.
She is good looking and she has a very nice pair of eyes. Like, do they think they're gonna fuck her? Do they think they're gonna fuck her?
Yes. I mean, that's the best part about it, is like, one, you think you're gonna fuck the lady you're seeing on the YouTube short?
No,
two,
Frost is right. Where's Bill Maher's comment?
no, that's true.
She is getting off on this. Nice rosebuds. So let's move on
Disgusting.
to what I can only describe as the female equivalent of I studied the blade. Let's go back to studio mode.
Get everything set back up.
This is insane.
I know, right? Oh, what are you guys talking about?
Looked out pottery girl. I don't know what I was expecting.
Oh, wait, that's Jake. Jake!
You see why I didn't play it on stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it at your house?
I heard that rumor, but whatever you do, please don't show up to my house.
Why is everyone so...
Wait.
I'm done.
That was... Look at that subtle dolly zoom they had.
Whatever you do, please don't show up to my house.
That's so cinematic.
I'm done getting my...
It's true, dog. It's the fucking dog for me.
While everybody's at the party and getting lit, I'm going to get my dream body. While all of you were partying, doing drugs, having sex, where was I? studying the blade.
We'll see how much they laugh when I look better than all the girls at school.
I was
That's
popping
it.
my
I'm tracking
pussy.
my calories. It's over. I'm gonna get my dream body in no time.
Oh my, is that Sophie Rain?
Dang it, he's just gonna say something mean.
Should I go up to her? Screw it. Summer?
What?
How do you do that?
Well, all you guys were
How do I do that?
tracking my calories.
Isn't that annoying though?
No, give me that.
I wish Darmon videos had these
You
angles.
just take a picture of your food and it'll
Was that
tell
a
you how many
Feastables?
calories are in it.
There's no way that works.
Yeah, look,
The
it'll
grind.
Yeah, there was two Feastables bars in this video so
AI is
far.
the future.
I know, right?
So it turns out to be an AI ad. So I like how partially it is like a really misogynist, like, I have to be better than every other woman. Internalized misogyny video. It's also Reddit type, I studied the blade while everyone else was out partying, like weird pride of being, I don't know, antisocial and despondent.
Yeah.
And also an AI ad. It's so good. And also, like, the value that she gets was, like, not from, oh, I'm exercising and now I feel better because my body is healthier, and I'm doing something that I enjoy and makes me feel better and allows me to do more things that I enjoy. No, it's I have to look better than everyone else to prove them that they're wrong for partying while I'm staying moral and dedicated to the craft. It's some real, like, Kellogg's, like the guy, not the cereal type stuff. Oh, it's so good. Anyways, there's a new Atlas Earth video.
No fucking way.
I've been getting a new Atlas Earth ad, and we're just going to play a little bit of it. If you don't remember the first Atlas Earth ad, here it is. We're just going to play a snippet of it.
I think about this video constantly.
Yeah, so we got the lamest bars by Pixar AI-ified white man.
We got not Luigi.
We got not Luigi. We got fuckboy Luigi. We got Poppy Luigi. Now what's going on here?
Yo, so you love to play mobile games. The type where you never really earn a thing. Where you spend a lot of time and it goes away. Thrown away. Honestly, it's all the same.
So the first few bars are saying, wow, you like to play video games that you don't even earn money on? Why are you even doing that? Why are you so fucking lame? I really enjoy that the only measure of worth that these people have is, in fact, money. Or lack thereof, because it's fucking crypto.
But what if you could play for cash? And the more you play the game, the bigger the bag. When you have...
So the more you play the game, the more money you make. This is a game...
Wait, oh my god, they got live action Luigi now.
Yeah, they got live action Luigi. He's bald, by the way.
Why does he kind of look like Elon just a little bit?
He does look like a character Elon would play on Saturday Night Live. Also, why is his hat so far up his skull?
Don't worry about it.
Like, there's a lot of empty space there where I imagine the hair normally goes, but, like, it's just, like, off his head.
Fun when your girl look at you funny, you can...
Like, a stiff breeze is going to knock that that hat all the way off.
Calm down, girl, I'll make it real funny. Look, babe.
Oh, I fucking hate my bitch wife. Oh, but since I make money, she's now impressed. Good relationship. Let's skip through.
Real money with Atlas Earth. What's the game called? Atlas Earth. Atlas Earth.
What?
Once again, that's Atlas Earth. I'm downloading it now. Okay. Now I'm out here moving.
What?
My girl's so proud. I'm the mayor of this town, the mayor of that.
They have the most unflattering LinkedIn headshot for this man. Like right here, it's like flattering, soft lighting. And then this guy, it looks like it's a screenshot from the Matrix. It's all green tinted. Oh, it's shiny. That's very unfortunate. I don't know. What do you guys think about Atlas Earth?
I think I should download it right now.
I just bought more land in the metaverse.
Oh, that's awesome.
You see this Starbucks? I just bought it in Atlas Earth, and now it's making money for me that I can cash out for
We're
real.
watching the Atlas Earth ad, Robin Fist, because there's a new Atlas Earth ad. Atlas Earth is, in fact, a game where you can buy land in the metaverse, and it was a meme for a little bit, but no one actually played the game because it's like a virus for your phone.
I mean, it's literally just like a Bitcoin miner.
He's a president now.
Whoa, Lord.
He won the election. All right, the rest of it is just like cash in real life stuff. Yeah. Anyways,
this is like the tech bro version of Toys to Life.
It's a tech bros version of Toys to Life.
Really though.
Blockchain games are the tech bro versions of Toys to Life. Byrne has really had a heterosexuality alert installed on company computers. Kasane Tedo detected.
True. No,
So
that...
I'm a few episodes behind, but so like the Garuda Blader, her name is Karura, if I remember right. She's like 7 years old, and she's declared herself Byrne's fiance purely for financial gain because she's like the heir to like a metalworking company and has a shit ton of money. And he's like, oh, this guy's a shit ton of money too. If we get married, I'm gonna be so fucking loaded. But she is 7 years old, and he's just trying to fucking shoo her away.
That's awesome.
Real.
Heterosexuality alert.
This happens to everyone, I should add.
Kasane Tedo detected. Oh, that's silly. So, speaking of other silly Beyblade stuff, there's this Reddit post that I saw on Twitter today.
Yeah.
If you thought that episode of Beyblade was crazy, they made Beyblade real. Where can I find a challenge? A post on r/BeybladeX by Funny Alps 1075. Always winning is lonely, isn't it? Ever since I got my blade, Full Metal Vice Tiger, and my launcher with the Noozle 3D extended Tyson cord, I've been undefeated and unmatched. I play in free battles, and I've basically become free play king without a single point scored on me. What challenges do you think I should do? And do you think it's likely that anyone else would step up and use a blade equal to mine's caliber? Ever since bladers have seen what mine can do, they refuse to battle me unless I handspin, which makes it almost equal. Is there anyone out there like myself? Bro brought, like, a gun to a knife fight and is now complaining, like, no one wants to fight me.
He's role-playing!
He's role-playing!
Theater kids spotted! No, I'm just sitting here. This is written in such a badass way. Did Chrome fucking Ryugu manifest in real life and write this?
Okay, if you aren't familiar...
No, there's not enough talk about his ex for it to
That's
be
true. That's true. No, you don't know who got him into blading in the first place. This is a whole character we have yet to discover.
I'm going to go through each product that he mentions. The Full Metal Vice Tiger is the Beyblade Vice Tiger, except if it was made out of entirely stainless steel. Even the bit. This feels like a copy pasta. This really feels like a copy pasta.
It is now.
Turn it into one.
We should. I encourage you to copy paste the text of this.
Oh, I thought you were meaning like your explanation of this, of like the parts. That is another copy pasta in of itself.
So this is the Noozle 3D Dragon Winder that he's talking about, the Tyson cord from the anime that Takao uses in episode 1 of Bakuten Shoot. It's just a really long ass winder that if you put it into your launcher, it will make the Beyblade spin fast enough that either it will break or something else will break. To have a full stainless steel Beyblade launched with that is incredibly dangerous for the stadium, the other people's equipment, and the other people. Now, let's just go through the Reddit comments, because this guy's insane. This guy, oh, he's a Redditor. He's a Redditor. So he's complaining that no one will match him as his equal because he is using a hunk of metal, not legal for the game, and illegal equipment not made to the game specification. So he's not playing the game. This is like, God, I can't find anyone equal for street basketball at the gym. And then, like, I don't know, he's literally, like, punching people with a fucking hockey stick. I don't know what else to say. He's using moon boots.
I printed my own $10 billion Monopoly money. Why does nobody want to play Monopoly with me?
What? I'm using my own bank account for Monopoly. Why does no one want to play with me? So, to the very reasonable reaction, you could just use a regular Beyblade instead of a custom full metal one? We get, I would, but I got tired of Takara, Tomy, and Hasbro since their Beyblades are quite high in quality, but they only last 3 months before they break, so I got a stainless steel replica to last longer, but side effects of that weight difference and the fact that Vice Tiger is so versatile made it become overpowered AF. Is this satire? We're skipping this one. We're skipping this one.
How fucking hard are you blading that you're losing your Beyblades every 3 months?
I don't know. I think that he watched my video and took it as fact. Like, he watched my video where I explained, like, it's not actually that big of an issue and it's very limited to a few molds. And even if you do, like, even if you, like, a Beyblade breaks, buying the Beyblade again is so much cheaper than buying a $300 full metal Beyblade. Like, what? It's insane.
Yeah, like I didn't even like fully process the Full Metal Beyblade until now because I was mostly just like focused on the ripcord because that's the one thing that like I was aware was already a thing. This is the type of shit that happens on a sitcom. Exactly.
This is the type of shit that happens in episode 1 of Bakuten Shoot Beyblade. Like, clearly, yes, clearly he's seen the episode because he mentions the Tyson cord. But, like, the first episode is just, like, about a kid who's using a really heavy metal Beyblade, and he's treated as the bad guy for that, because it's illegal and bad to do, and it's not actually playing the game. I think that's insane. Is this satire? Nope, completely serious. I really don't have anyone to battle with, and I gotta be honest, before I had this, I was known as the guy who used the weakest stuff, and still got pretty far, so I figured all I needed was a strong blade, and what better than this? This is
literally the path of a villain. It's just like, I was shunned for being weak, so I took the easy way out to become the strongest.
Are you located in California by chance? Oh, this guy's looking for a challenge. If you really want to challenge yourself and push your skills to the absolute limit, my first suggestion would be to consider not cheating. I don't cheat. I don't compete in official tournaments anymore. Anymore? I even warn my opponent what mine can do. How much it weighs and how it works. I even go the extra mile of giving them my Bay's weaknesses and how to exploit them. It's made out of
he's the fucking villain of the week.
He's the villain of the week. That's not. Yeah, here's my Beyblade's weakness. Hope it spins out because it's made out of solid steel. It's solid.
Would you like to play a shadow game? What the fuck? He's a rare hunter.
It's nice that you're upfront about having a ridiculously unfair advantage, but doesn't that make the advantage any less ridiculously unfair? What were you saying, Peggy?
Pictures of this thing anywhere?
Yes, there are. Can someone Google it for me? Actually, no, I'll just pull up a new tab. And merge it into this browser. Solid... Full Metal Vice Tiger. Now, I think it's interesting that he's using Vice Tiger because it's like the one Beyblade that the guy uses, right? The Blader 3 or Blader 03 or whatever. The guy who's like... Okay, I found it. Okay, this is it. See item details. Okay. So it is... Shut up. Trying very hard to make sure that nothing on this doxes me. So it is completely stainless steel. The plastic parts are stainless steel. The bit is stainless steel. The ratchet is stainless steel. There's nothing on this that is not, like, 3D printed or powder sintered fucking steel, right?
Why?
I would also like to remember, or like remind people, like stainless steel is only thought of as like lightweight compared to normal ass steel. So like this thing's heavy as shit.
Yeah.
Like aluminum versus, remember that. And then like this is just a lighter of the
weighs around 119 grams. That is,
which is fucking ridiculous for X.
Oh, like 2.5 times.
With a hydrogen bomb.
His bay's weakness is being thrown into a lake. True. I'll be honest.
True.
I'd be like, yeah.
No, that's why you went for stainless. That's why you went for stainless.
Yeah, the only weakness is like
oxidize.
Grab it from the arena. Hope you don't
Treat
get
it like
caught.
Exodia.
Yeah, throw it into the sea. You have to Exodia him.
Yeah, you have to create an anionic reaction with your bay. You have to use you have to make sure the stadium is not grounded.
So this is what we're talking about. This is nice bait. Unfortunately, this guy is completely real for reasons I will go into after reading him meeting his kindred spirit.
Oh my god.
From Brilliant Aspect 286, a Reddit brain genius 20 hours ago, I felt the same way for a bit. I was like you, using modded Bay with modded Ripcord, but it was so boring to win every time, even my friends fighting me wasn't excited anymore, because they knew that I would destroy the arena, even in 3 or 4 person matches. Then I started to stop playing. Nothing mattered anymore. Beyblade was no fun. I was invincible. But after 3 months without touching a Bay, I decided to come back. Now I'm back to non-modded stuff, and I work hard to win against any Bays with my combo. That my new challenge, I have my deck that I like and that represent me, and I won't ploy to the meta. I will find my way to win every battle, even if the meta says it's impossible. I discover new launching techniques. I understand more and more the movements of my bays and the reaction they got with each type of situation in the stadium. I learn all about the bays and try to figure out how I need to adapt for each of them with their variants and different parts. And I swear, Beyblade is so much fun again. Sometimes I'm raging because my opponent beat me several times, and I need to leave before I could have my win, or just my understanding of how I win. But that feels so good. I feel so much alive when I'm raging, and I feel so much alive when I'm jumping of joy because I finally win. I don't really know if my success my objectives, but I know one thing, knowing that you will potentially lose, make all win way better. This feels AI generated? No, AI couldn't be this bad at spelling. This is a completely human original. This feels like...
It feels like a 12-year-old on Reddit, to be completely honest.
Feels like a 12-year-old on Reddit. There's like two ways this can go. This is like someone who's like just a normal Redditor and English isn't their first language, or a 12-year-old on Reddit. Like... Yeah, the people who watched the Beyblade anime and thought that the villains were right. This is a real, like... This is literally every Bakuten shoot villain.
No, it's real. Think about it. Kyoya did 100-on-1 battles, and then Jinga reminded him about his honor. Type shit.
Yeah.
Hey, Zep, also a little off topic. TCG Pocket, know it, love it. Remember when I said, what if you got a Pikachu from a Wonder Pick?
I'm going to kill you.
No, literally it happened.
I'm going to kill you.
I can't believe it. Lucky girl affirmation for the win.
I need a Pikachu EX. But anyways, back to this. Funny Alps. I truly understand how you feel, as I was the exact same. But there's a difference. I started out where you ended. I used the weakest Beyblades, not caving to the meta, and I made it far in tournaments, but there was a time where, like many, I was so close, yet so far. So I retired from blading for a few months, and I stumbled upon Benchblade and Noozle 3D, the sponsors of today's video. I saw that what their stuff could do, and I got inspired to battle a different way than I've ever done before, by cheating. No more tournaments.
That's what I'm saying.
No more tournaments, only free play and battle royales. I opt for these type of matches as it's the only way to express my newfound power and to show that my skills made me strong in official battles, but combine that with the Beyblades of the highest quality and versatility being Vice Tiger. By making it full metal, I've essentially become the very best in attack, defense, and stamina. When you add the fact that I have an extended ripcord, things get real interesting. Having this blade feels rewarding, as it's the first time that I've wielded a blade that won't break or cave in under any obstacles. And I've had more fun blading, and it's been exhilarating waiting for someone to step up to dethrone me. Yeah, someone's going to punch you in the face. Someone's going to, like... You're going to do this to, like, some kid, and their big brother is going to beat the shit out of you. That's what's going to happen, right?
So he's, like, not simultaneously having the Bakuten shoot villain arc while also having, like, the Bay time shift.
He is doing, like, a world of cardboard type speech. It is insane. Bro, you just bought like $140 Beyblade and a $15 ripcord. That is not that serious.
And then you're popping off about it like you live in fucking parkour civilization.
So I have a guy that
we know
told
a guy
me about this guy, possibly, and there's a lot of evidence mounting against him of him not beating the allegations of being this guy. But regardless, it is a guy who acts much like this, and through certain speaking idiosyncrasies, like just kind of reveals that he's this guy, or is at least very like this guy and uses a full metal Vice Tiger. So the thing is that they asked him, or the guy who's like this, and, like, I don't know how to describe this in any succinct detail. He showed up to tournaments and he started using this, and everyone said, like, hey, that's not legal. That's dumb. That's dumb. This is not like any legal parts. And Yes, every judge, if it was legal, and every person said
Like,
no, and
It's not official Hasbro or Takara Tomy product.
and the stadiums are like, for all of these tournaments, like people loan their stadiums for these tournaments, so we can actually organize them. That's how these kinds of things work. And the metal bits, especially on these, are going to destroy those like plastic stadiums that are thin plastic sheets vacuum molded over like a piece of mold that they're not that strong when metal is applied to them. And it's also like, once the metal gears get onto the extreme line, obviously that's going to wreck the extreme line. So after the tournament, one of the stadium guys shows my guy his brand new stadium that he loaned to this tournament. 2 giant holes.
No.
Let's see if is there anything else here?
What I'm taking from that is that this guy needs to make his own stainless steel base stadium so that he.
Yeah.
No, you're right. No, he needs to go to the desert.
Base stadium.
He needs to go to the desert, like in Metal Fight, and go to the place where a meteor landed. Yeah, like go to where the meteor landed and like melted all of the sand into a solid glass stadium. He needs to go there. That's what he needs to do. So, yeah. Also, there's a video out that's about how they designed Beyblade X.
Dropped on the English channel a few days before on the Japanese, before the Japanese channel, by the way, if I could speak.
Yeah. So I don't know if we'll watch any of this, but like we'll skip through and show like some prototypes. Like originally,
it's neat.
It's neat. Like, I highly recommend that you watch this video. It's very good. What? But yeah. You can watch it in English with subtitles, so yeah. Anyways, we are doing Bionicle lecture tonight. Or we're going through it together because we have to present at a con tomorrow.
Yup.
So, let's go over. I've downloaded our PowerPoint as a PDF so we can look at it here.
I forgot how awesome it is.
So we made this on the beaches of Galveston, Texas for spring break. And there was a picture that we took of it that did a few numbers on twitter.com. So we're like, maybe we should do this at our local college. So I consult local college if we could do this. And a certain club contacted us and said yes. And then we used their club room, and it was really funny. Enough people packed the room that they were stealing benches from outside the lecture hall and just dragging them in for seating. And it was really funny. So after this...
I know we had people on the floor.
We had people on the floor. We had people on benches that they stole from outside. We had a lot.
Standing.
There was more people in that room than the fire code allowed. So after that, we did it at a anime convention in which we may have accidentally caused an orgy afterwards because we handed out condoms. During
And I mean, it was kind of an 8+ last panel at an anime convention.
So yeah.
We
What happened?
gathered a bunch of people and talked about
Gathered friends. Well, what happened is that like we had this 18+ Bionicle panel that we had because we say the fuck word in this presentation quite a lot, and we didn't want to sacrifice that because a lot of the jokes rely on it.
Well, let's just be real. People who even remember the fucking reboot of Bionicle are 8+. So, like, it's just the demographic of the shit.
Yeah, and also we talk about genocide a lot. Because there's a lot of those in Bionicle. So we register the panel for that. We have a time that's like 18+, and then someone, I guess, talked to the con floor managers, and had the time changed, pretending to be us, because they didn't want the panel to be 18+. And
and luckily they said
we noticed
like,
this.
They send notifications like to the panelists. So like I got email notification.
No, we didn't get an email notification. We got a new schedule.
No, we checked the schedule. We just checked the schedule.
The schedule that we got at the con was different from the one that we got an email notification for.
Yeah, so that was already my first tip off. And then I'm like, okay, we'll ask. And then when I go down to ask, because we saw the mismatch, and we're like, okay, they could have just gotten it wrong, or like, oh, maybe they like took one of our backup times, or like, oh, this is the only time available, in which case, okay, whatever. Don't want to be difficult. But then I find out they're like, yeah, someone like came down and was like pretty insistent about like it not needing to be 18+, and like, yeah, it seemed like they were the people that they were pretty involved with it. And I'm like, I'm half of the people doing it. I'm like, I'm the one who filled out the request for this. Put it back to the original time, please. And they're like, yeah, for sure. I'm sorry we moved it in then. And I'm like,
and then we get the question.
Don't be sorry.
And then we get the question, so why is it 18+?
Yeah, so then they're like, well, why does it need to be 18+? And it's just like,
well,
I think the fact that we are confidently calling it an 18+ panel, people should be like just expecting. They're just, oh, we're in for it.
Yeah, like, number one,
like you should just expect that.
Yeah, like, we explain, like, we talk about a lot of, like, serious topics or whatever, and, we like to throw in some colorful language, and, we like to say the fuck word. Yeah. And, yeah, it gets changed. So anyways, we get it scheduled after, like, an erotic hypnosis panel, which is awesome. So people are funneling in from the burlesque show to this erotic hypnosis panel.
Yeah, bleed over from sissy hypno. Bleed over from sissy hypno. Sometimes it can be dom hypno too, guys. But then we also have the bleed over from the burlesque show, because so many people just kind of saw the schedule of events for the day and are like, no way. There's a Bionicle panel right after the burlesque show, which is a con burlesque show. So, of course, they're in cosplay during it. It's always an experience.
Oh,
that is all I'll say.
I remember when one of the people...
Let's just say usually some FNAF involved in one way, shape, or another.
Yeah, I remember when one of the burlesque people called me out for being a theater kid.
No, it's true. Good. No, I love how like we go to like the meet the nerd, like the burlesque people, and then like we're just like riffing with them, because it's just like we just don't acknowledge that barrier of like, well, yeah, oh, since you do that, we're gonna treat you differently. It's like, no, because of that, it's like I want to be your friend. That's you're awesome.
But what's really here is that
Yeah. No, I mean,
so Cody and I also were like, you know what would be a really funny way to advertise the panel? Match with a bunch of people on Tinder within a 1 mile radius,
that also
aka
was
the con,
very
and
sweet.
just the first message is, "Hey, we're doing a Bionicle panel. Would you want to come?"
And I love how like half the people that we message, they're like, "No way, you're the one doing it," and like this doesn't even turn in, and it like completely eliminates like any tension, anything that was even remotely there from the start, and it's just like, oh my god, you have to tell me, like, is it gonna be good? Like they're trying to get spoilers. I'm like, why would I do that? No.
Anyways, if you don't know, you can go to pp.fun to go to our YouTube channel.
True.
This is a picture of the original presentation, which we did in Hooters shirts, which we picked up immediately before the presentation.
Because we couldn't find that goddamn Church's chicken.
Yeah, we went to 3 fake Church's chickens because our friend was using Apple Maps.
The island.
We drove off the island.
We drove off the island we were vacationing at night already, in a place we have never been before. And it was me, one other friend, and Zep in the car.
There are jets of flame shooting up into the sky because there's oil rigs, because it's Texas.
There's an oil refinery. They're like, what are all these lights?
It's like there's like just hellish, like Mount Doom ass jets of flame. It's great.
Yeah, and then we put a bunch of people who were not at our level at that point. Because we were like jazzed up after just this insane series of events. Meanwhile, they're all like, we've been day drinking. And then Bionicle lore is how we top off their night.
Well, because we're doing PowerPoint night, everyone else has like a 15-minute presentation. Ours is feature length, an hour and a half long. And it was really a ploy. It was really a ploy from us to get to bed at a reasonable time.
Yeah, because like all the people that were like weren't fucking with it are like, I'm going to bed, and they needed to because they needed rest. They didn't need rest. They needed to stop drinking. The others some sat their white asses down and listened to the story of the Bionicle.
Yeah, it was great. The people who
Some
participated
people were asking
awesome.
questions about like slides ago. They're like, "Wait, how does that affect Metro Nui?" We're just like, "That's an excellent question."
So then we get invited by the Weed Club to do this presentation.
True, many such cases. And what can I say? They picked it was a pretty good turnout, so I guess it was the right pick.
Yeah, so the Weed Club said we only meet every other Thursday, but the lecture hall that we do our club in is rented every Thursday. So we are so willing to give you that to use. And it's like, we're doing this sponsored by the Weed Club. So yeah, we just have them do a little speech before. And then they let us present. This is also in the special thanks section. Thank you, trans women, for making Bionicle lore real. Bionicle lore.
This slide is hella funny.
So Bionicle lore was not only commissioned by a trans woman, the research was aided by the fact that trans women have done all of this Bionicle research and wiki work, and now Cody is a trans woman.
Yeah,
So
and now it is being brought to you through
So
the
you guys haven't presented this since before Cody transitioned, right?
No, so this is also part of why we're doing it. So we can have an iteration of the Bionicle lore where
you're just trans now.
Bionicle made her trans.
I would possibly agree with you there. I would say I'd attribute quite a bit to Bionicle.
Now, I just want to note, I knew nothing about Bionicle before making this. I just did a shit ton of research.
This was your first interest in like your first in-depth dive into Bionicle. I watched all the movies and I was very invested in the show, like just the toy line and all of that. really didn't like go uber hard into collecting them. Also didn't play like any of the web games. So there was just a lot of stuff I knew, but a lot of gaps in my knowledge. And that's what this fully exists for, is the entire timeline by two chuckle fucks adjacently connected to this.
Yeah, I just had enough people like come up to me during class thinking that I knew like Bionicle lore that it became an actual issue that I had to learn Bionicle lore for.
Yeah,
so
you did this for social sustainability.
I did this
we
because it was
also-
like less annoying to just explain it than it would be to say I don't know anything about Bionicle.
Yeah, because you start explaining lore now and they're like, oh shit, you like actually know it. I don't have an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Plus probably longer than sometimes.
Oh shit. Cody, could you bring your laptop so we have PowerPoint so we can do the bounce in on this?
Oh, true. I will.
So the expansive lore of Bionicle, this will not be like a full version of the lecture, a up-and-coming anime con in local to one of our areas, or local to one of our friends' areas, invited us to perform this. So we're just like practicing since we haven't looked at it for like over a year.
Yeah, it's fun being commissioned to do Bionicle lore when we ourselves were commissioned to do Bionicle lore to help other trans friends chase better.
Yeah, the original reason we made the Bionicle lecture as our PowerPoint was because our friend said, hey, you guys share more interests with trans women than I do. Could you make a Bionicle lecture slide so I can talk to trans women better? And surely enough, she commissioned the right people, the world's greatest eunuch, and a closeted trans woman. So, yeah. All right, are we ready to go through? Hello? Did I get kicked from call?
No.
No? Oh, Cody's just not responding.
Did Cody die?
Yes.
Cody
No, we can start.
Okay. All right, if you want a better version of this lecture, you can go to pp.fun. We have it up on YouTube, but for right now, we're going. So, what are Bionicle? Bionicle is a series released by LEGO in 2001, 2000, if you're in Australia exactly. That was part of Bionicle's efforts to make a construction line that is combining construction toys, which they're known for, and action figures, which originally started with stuff like Throwbots and some prototype stuff that never came out. Slizers is another name for Throwbots, and there's, other prototype Bionicle lines, but the most successful one by far was Bionicle. And it was made as an effort to create a story-based content and a brand-based content for LEGO that would save it from bankruptcy, since what LEGO was depending on at the time was a bunch of licensed brands. Galador was also Construction, yes. A bunch of licensed brands like Harry Potter, Indiana Jones, I don't know if that was it at the time, but definitely Star Wars. LEGO Star Wars, Harry Potter, and a whole bunch of other branded stuff that they had to pay licensing fees for. And this was kind of leading LEGO to go towards bankruptcy, and Bionicle single-handedly saved LEGO from bankruptcy due to how successful it was. Bionicle is not any given creature. It stands for Biological Chronicle. Cody, I'll let you do this slide. I shared the PowerPoint on slides with you.
I have it pulled up on my end so I can actually read it. Yeah, so what's important to note about Bionicle is this is only the way that we reference this toy line. Like in the story of it, we can only refer to it as Bionicle. Like these are Bionicles, but Bionicle is not a noun that exists within the grand lore and like story that is these toys. So due to this, being a biological chronicle, Bionicle has a very expansive lore that can rival the Bible itself, with a multitude of Christ-like entities and genocide.
I hope you're having the genocide counter open, because we didn't, because we lost track of how many genocides there are in Bionicle lore. The
It's how we get
beginning.
audience engagement. It's like, count the genocide.
Yeah, do you want to do every other slide?
I think so.
Yeah, so you'll do the next picture slide, and then, yeah, explaining what's going on, and then, yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah.
So we begin on the planet of Spherus Magna, which is just this giant desert, like Mad Max planet, where there are two races of mechanically augmented beings, the Agori and the Glatorian. The Agori are the villagers that help the Glatorian warriors, and they're all split into elemental tribes. There's very limited resources on Spherus Magna due to it being like this weird Mad Max world. So a lot of the resources are done through weapon trading and like doing gladiatorial combat. And like one of the only plants that's like plentiful are these thorny little balls that explode and they use as grenades. So that kind of sets the tone. And they're all warring elemental tribes. There's 8 of them. Similar to what we would later see on in, like, Bionicle proper. This is, by the way, done in chronological order, not by release year, so we have not touching the main story of Bionicle yet. This is just preamble.
And that makes it all the more great, because you're like, when do we get to the fucking ones I remember?
So there's, like, a multitude of Cthulhu-like creatures, and one of them is a Nona. And a Nona removes some of the Agorian Glatorian's ability to dream, which, like, biologically, as a response, makes them go crazy. If they can't dream, then the Agorian Glatorian go crazy and start killing each other, and this leads to mass panic. It's called the Dreaming Plague. And it leads to the first genocide in Bionicle. So, because of this, a new race or species evolves. And they're called the Great Beings. And they're like a smarter, like, progenitor species that decides that they themselves will heal the world of Spherus Magna. And they discover in all of their fighting liquidized protodermis, a material that they use to create tools, weapons, and so much more. So, we got this image. Cody can explain it.
Yeah, so not only does this image go into the reservoir of images that go hard, this also just kind of shows how hard it is to find Bionicle images online. No, it is very poor quality. That is unfortunate. But yeah, here are the Glatorians. Here's some toys that you'll definitely remember towards later end of Bionicle. Think Legends Reborn is the movie that was coming out alongside these. Yeah, I had the black one.
The scroll.
I had the blue one too. But yeah, I mean, and then pretty much the Agori were just mini guys from this toy line.
Yeah, they were like the villagers.
You can remember they shoot the marbles with all the spikes. Those are in lore. The prop that they like harvest.
Because Bakugan existed by this time in Bionicle's existence, they made it into like a battle game, but that's for later. And also, that's like hundreds of thousands of years into the future from this. So the core...
it's also like important to also add a little note. Keep in mind, in timescale, we've already had a whole new species evolve.
Yeah, like this entire thing lasts like hundreds of thousands of years, and Bionicle like beings just kind of exist for that long. So yeah. So a war broke out to control the core of the planet, because it has this liquidized protodermis in it. And through many experiments, the great beings create killer robots called the Batera to keep this war from waging on, because since it's a battle for the core of the planet, it's just coming apart. Spherus Magna is splitting apart at the seams in the most literal way possible. Eventually, they realize maybe it's getting too late into the process to stop this. So they create the great spirit robot, Matanui, which holds a brand new universe, the Matoran universe, that's full of a plethora of new beings that's self-sustaining, new elemental tribes that will travel across the universe to determine the cause for war and return to Spherus Magna to put an end to it. And then the planet actually does get ripped apart into 3 separate planetoids: Aqua Magna, Boda Magna, and Bara Magna, as the robot takes off. One of them being just water, one of them being like all of the plant life, and one of them just being the desert. So things get even more Mad Max from here. I've been told this isn't actually the core war, but I also don't care.
Yeah. Also, I mean, it's just funny to point at this and be like, these are the Bionicle. Like, and then to be there and go, actually, these aren't Bionicle, these are Glatorians.
Yeah.
You're now seeing the trend of also why to do this. There is no bigger way to be pretentious than to just remember Bionicle, but to know specific shit about it.
So, Cody, would you like to explain the Matoran universe?
Oh, would I? So, essentially, when they created Matanui, and this being a living robot, they had to create essentially an ecosystem, much like the human body, of how we have our cells, to kind of care and to keep the robot functioning as it goes across the universe, searching for the solution to war. So, all these beings are made out of the liquid protoderm, and they are referred to as Matoran. This should be a more familiar term.
At least eventually.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later.
Eventually. Yeah. So these should be at least more familiar terms, because some of these Matoran can become the Toa, or Toa in general. And they are just essentially like that next level up, the defenders of the Matoran and the great spirit robot Matanui as a whole. So the whole idea then is it's a everlasting circle of cycling in and out Toa, because once a Toa have accomplished their responsibilities, they become the Turaga, and then they essentially step down from being warrior of their generation to being the leader of the next generation and keeping it going, self-sustaining. But it's even more complicated, because the Kanohi masks are the plot device that allows all of these creatures to imbue power and abilities across the world as well. So that's when we get into like just the crazy people just having names. So we get like just a great being, Valika, granted the Matoran sentience that they did not have up to this point, just so they would revere him as a god when he reveals that he was the person who did that.
And it's of note, he does this specifically. He doesn't like give them the sentience to also praise him as a god. He wants them to do it out of their own free will, because he's just like that.
Yeah, like he just wants to like enact this scheme to where everyone just thinks he's like really cool. But then by doing this, we are setting the Matoran universe on its inevitable track of free will being its main source of destruction.
Free will will be the ultimate downfall. It's very Catholic. Here's the great spirit robot scanning a bunch of planets, trying to figure out the reason for war. So,
yeah.
Eventually we create, you might recognize these guys, The Toa Mata. So these Toa were created by the Order of Mata Nui, which is a secret organization that was made by a few of the denizens of Mata Nui to protect it. And these Toa are created as the ultimate defense squad for the Great Spirit Robot, which renamed Mata Nui. The Toa Mata are unique is that they were created as Toa, and they were never ever Matorans. They were made for this specific purpose. They're trained by the weapons master Hydraxon, and to be like the ultimate warriors. And then they were sealed away in their canisters, which were their like plastic packaging that you would buy them in, not to return until they are needed. So they are like the emergency backup ultimate warriors that they can bring out at any time. So then the Brotherhood of Makuta, which are also kind of like the white blood cells of the Great Spirit Robot, are there to keep order as like, I don't know, peacekeepers or cops and create more Rahi. Cody can tell you more about them.
Oh, it's so true. Okay. Yeah. So, did you just hit the first bullet point?
Yeah, I just accidentally hit the first bullet point.
No, okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted
I got
to make
into
sure
flow state, sorry.
No, you're real. That's why I wanted to double check. Yeah, so, again, classic Bionicle, guys, it leads to more conflict and genocide. Because pretty much it was more so the Toa were kind of the, generational heroes, protectors, warriors. Meanwhile, the Makuta are like doing a ton of important work, but just not seeing like all like the flash flare and like they're not getting any of the fanfare and they're like, what the heck? So then we kind of lead to Makuta Pterodax, specifically kind of starting an insurrection of the Brotherhood and like pretty much just doing like MAGA, but for the Makuta.
Yeah, he did Bionicle Jan 6th.
Yeah. So then after Bionicle Gen 6, he kind of just he teamed up with a different organization referred to as the Dark Hunters, which is an equivalent to the Illuminati, but just filled with mercenaries. And then the idea was to overthrow like the Makuta. So then once Pterodax, had this ready to go, we also have Makuta Kojal, creating a virus. So we also have Bionicle COVID to make the bait. And then this result was Mata Nui, the Great Spirit Robot, crush into Aquamag, which is, if you remember, one of the original pieces of Sphera Magna. So we didn't even get that far.
No, I think it got that far, and then on return it crashed in.
You think so? Okay. No, that's insane lore. Again, think about the time scale here. Yeah, and then as a result of the crash landing, that caused the Toa canisters to malfunction, launching into the ocean, making the Toa Mata not only lose their memory, but to be disassembled and put in a comatose state until later.
Until you buy them in stores and put them together.
Yeah, until they hit store shelves.
So now this is where our main story would begin. Woo, except we're not. We're doing the second movie.
This is where our story begins in movie number 2.
In movie number 2. So we haven't reached the main story of Bionicle yet. So Metro Nui is a bustling metropolis that serves as like the brain of the robot, right? And there's one Toa Likan, who lives in the city, who's defender of the Makoki Stone, which is basically a bunch of ways to beat the Makuta, and a bunch of like all of their secret fortresses, all of their locations. It is essentially the doxing stone for the Makuta. And he is betrayed by his fellow Toa, Nadiki, who is a dark hunter, and Tuyet, who is actually a serial killer, who was killing a bunch of people throughout the city, which was a subplot. So Makuta Pterodax, who will later become the main Makuta that we face in the storyline, creates like this Orwellian kind of 1984 city-state in Metro Nui, and disguises himself as like the Bionicle Metro Nui Mayor Taraga Duma, and enforces it with like a bunch of mind control powers through that year's enemy sets. And Lee Khan, after finding out that the Mokoki Stone is being targeted by Makuta Pterodax, creates a new team of Toa that could save the city. So, the Toa Hordiki. So, I'll let Cody cover this nonsense.
Yeah, so after the first run around with Duma, which was actually Makuta in disguise, the Toa Metru are kind of like ran around in this whole circle by that Makuta that's posing as Duma. So like all of it's meant to like set them up for failure, be trials and tribulations, just to kind of keep them off task, mostly just trying to gaslight them. But before they're able to defeat him, technically movie 3 happens just like in between,
the middle.
I guess? Like it just somehow happens during it, which is very funny to think about because that's just really weird already. Not to mention just how this slots into the rest of it in terms of where we go from here. But all the Matoran citizens in that Orwellian city-state pretty much are being put into pods to make them lose all their memories, so then pretty much we can get like a whole clean slate. But in the middle of like trying to rescue them, the Toa Metru are poisoned by Hordika venom and transformed from their Toa Metru state into a partial Hordika state. To where they're like
Rahi.
or yes, to where they're like half Rahi, and they like wrestle with their new powers and form. So like the whole idea is like, oh no, we can't be turned back unless we get to the mystical Kitangu before then. So the whole movie essentially is them trying to find Kitangu, pass his trials.
There's a former team that's pretty important, the Rahaga, which are like essentially the smaller sets for that year, but they're like a former Toa team that was also turned into like half Rahi.
Like, except they stayed permanent because they weren't able to pass the trials.
They weren't able to turn back in time, but so they're leading them to a better fate through Kitangu.
Yeah. And then we have and then, with some rough patches happening during that movie, we're then able to get to the conclusion where they actually are able to escape and free the, like, unseal and free the Metru citizens, but then giving up, like, their power and becoming, oh my god.
Taraga.
This is Taraga. Oh my god. Me when they have too many. Oh! I gotta get my vocabulary test going again.
So essentially they give up their Toa powers and become Taraga, which are again the village leaders, and they lead all of the former citizens of Metro Nui into the island of Matanui, which is actually like the face of the Great Spirit Robot, which we don't know about for years in Bionicle. All of the liquid protodermis like leaked out and created like new biological, like natural landscape, essentially, and hid the robot. as like a defense mechanism. So, and they make up brand new lore about the Toa, and that, you know, Mata Nui is a great spirit that protects the land, and his evil brother Makuta is trying to destroy them. So this is Duma?
He's kind of awesome. That's like what the major antagonist looks like for quite a while.
Yeah. Also, like, the mask of time is present, but not you. Like, it's just kind of there. It's not that important.
It really only matters for, like the instant it is used and no longer before or after.
Well, it's like, it is, like, important at some points, but, like, there is a, like, mask that can control, like, speed up, slow down time. It is only useful in certain circumstances for some reason. It's just kind of brought up and then put away.
Yeah,
also,
when the mask of time is ran off
dies. Anyways, Toa Mata for real. Now we begin the main story of Bionicle on slide 18. So like, there's like a year of ceasefire between Toa Metru, the former Toa Metru, and Makuta Pterodax. And suddenly mysterious canisters show up on the island of Mata Nui. The 6 Toa Mata wake up from these canisters, and they have to quest around the island to find all 36 Kanohi to unlock the Golden Kanohi, which hold all the powers of all of the Toa's individual Kanohi at once, and most importantly, all of their memories, since they're also waking up without their memories. And once they do that, they can fight the evil Makuta. They are also opposed by these Rahi beasts, which are like the animals in the Matoran universe, which they're usually peaceful, except they were infected by like evil Kanohi. These infected Kanohi, and these can also control Toa. Like in the case of Toa Liwa, which in every case in the Bionicle story where there is a mind control like plot device, Liwa gets mind controlled. Like every single instance. It is like his main thing. So if you like the green guy, I'm sorry. So while they are going on these adventures, they are also chronicled by a Matoran, which is a fire Matoran, named Takua, and his gathered friends who help the Toa when needed. And they're called the Chroniclers Company, and their story is chronicled itself in the Mata Nui online game, which was a flash game which you could learn more about the Bionicle story by playing as Takua and learning all of this hidden lore. Now, Takua is a bit different from all of the other Fire Tribe Matoran because his mask is like this light blue color instead of the usual red or yellow or orange. And there's a very good reason for this. Eventually, Makuta Pterodax lures the fully powered Toa into a lair to test their powers against, like, an illusion he creates, where he wears, like, a rusty Kanohi How, and he makes, like, this big speech about how he's nothing but everything all at once. And it's, like, Tahu's mask of shielding, but evil. Luckily, they can form into Megazords. So as it turns out, they can form into combination sets, which you could build yourself, called Kaita. And they could attack the figure in this, like, essentially 3-way fusions, but it disappears for now. And it's super spooky, an epic way to end year 1 of the Bionicle plot. I think you can talk about the Borak, Cody.
Yeah. So after that threat has been taken care of, we have Takua walking into one of Makuta's hives after his retreat. And then there's some creatures that just burst out. So he starts to run away from it. Then we're quickly hit by earthquake. all across the land. And as one Matoran was attacked, the only thing he was able to say upon leaving was Borak. So we find out that Makuta used a virus to prematurely awaken the Borak, which are essentially the cleaner of the Great Spirit robot.
They're super Roombas.
We still don't. Yeah, but we don't know about the Great Spirit robot being a robot that has all these like functional parts that we like the people and all the animals serve a purpose for.
So to the inhabitants, it's just like, oh, these evil creatures are eating all of our land to no end. But actually, it's trying to get the spirit robot up, back and running again.
Yeah. Yeah, so the whole idea is they're doing that, but they're leaving all the villagers unharmed because the Matoran are part of the spirit robot ecosystem. But when they're threatened, they can, they have a mind control mechanism. I wonder where that will go. But it also kind of gives them like this hive mind ability with like the Borak Queen. The spoiler alert, of course, it happens to Aliwa, and the Borak takes over his mind.
And these rubber things, they're called the Krana. You can fling them with the toy, and they were the collectible of this year that came in like little collector's packets as well. And each Borak came with like a random shape and color one.
Yeah. So then we have the Chronicler's Company, led by Takua himself, defend the villages, and that way the Toa are able to use their Exatoa mecha suit armor, made by the Pomatoran, brown one, right?
Yeah. They're like
with their inventor.
Not the stone, they're the earth, because stone and earth are separate. Yeah,
same with water and ice. But the inventor Napuru, one of the Toa, right? Or no, one of the
Yeah, Nuparu.
Nuparu.
Yeah.
So then they're able to go down, defeat the Borak Twin Queen, because of course it's that kind of setup. But then they're able to ditch that Toa armor, down channel, become one with nature, using the full might of the elemental powers. They're able to beat the queen. Unfortunately, though, this blast sends them into pools of liquid protodermis, which easily have the power to destroy them. The Toamata come.
Liquid protodermis proves too powerful to leave the Toamata in existence. What gave them life will also take away the Toamata and leave us with the
Borak.
The Toanuva, bitches! It's good that we went over this because I fucking forgot that we had this slide.
Yeah, just the funny picture of the Borak. I love the
Toanuva. The liquid protodermis didn't kill them. It turned them into the Toamata into the Toanuva, who were stronger and held the power of every mask worn by the team, with even stronger versions of their own elemental powers. But this also awakens the Borak Call, which is an emergency task force set off in case of the Borak's demise that are meant to finish the job of the Borak. And they steal all of the Toanuva's elemental powers because they get tied to these new Nuva symbols that connect them all together. But they eventually defeat the Borak Call because they're toys that exist because the Borak were so popular that they just made essentially more Boraks. They're just remolds of these, essentially. Not even remolds, they're just recolors. No real fanfare. And then peace just kind of ensues, and a Koli tournament is prepared for this great time of rest. Here's what they look like. Here's what the Toanuva look like.
They're awesome.
Like they're metal, they have more posability, both of their arms move with gear functions. These were like the coolest thing to own as a young child in 2002, and they're the coolest things to own as a trans woman in 2024.
True. But now you'll know all their names so you don't have to waste time.
The Mask of Fucking Light. The first movie. We've made it to the first movie. You know this one.
We went through movies 2 and 3 before we got to movie 1, as well as how many generations, how many millennia. But yeah, hopefully this one becomes quicker to get through. As stated, probably recall at least something here. But we have Takua and Jaller, being Takua's friend and guard of the Tokoro Fire Village. They find the Kanohi Avoki, which is the mask light itself, which has the power to destroy the Makuta, who they all hold the element of shadow, with light being Snap's counterpart. The mask does react to Takua, but kind of just like says, Jaller, you can handle this. And then he is chosen to be the person to deliver it to its final resting place and summon the 7th Toa, being Toa of Light, with the mask light. But in response to this, Makuta Pterodax starts sending some Roxy soldiers, powered by Krata, not to be confused with Krana, and Roxy, not to be confused with Rahi. But the Krata brains, which have the ability to, if only. But no, with the help from the Toa, pretty much going village to village, meeting up with each one in their Toa Nuva.
Around the world in 80 days.
JoJo
Part 3.
All the classics are able to make it to their final destination. But Jaller kind of dies when it happens.
Jaller fucking dies because Makuta Pterodax kills him.
Yeah, Makuta Pterodax just kind of like says, enough of this, shoots a laser, fucking kills Jaller, to which Takua puts on the mask finally, and becomes Takanuva, the Toa of Light. Yeah, Takanuva.
And enters Pterodax's lair for a final battle.
Yeah, the climactic face-off.
Time! Stop! Time slip. Okay, so to explain all of this, Takua actually is an Automatoran. He's an Avmatoran, which is a Matoran of light. The Avmatoran are kind of an endangered species because they are targeted by the Makuta for holding the power to destroy the shadows. And the Order of Madanui decided to do a little trolling and like just diasporate them among the Great Spirit Robot disguised, like using their light powers to be different tribes' colors. And these disguises like aren't always good, since why Takua's mask is light blue instead of red. Now, the entire population of the Matoran's universe's memory of the year of this is just kind of wiped, creating a time slip, just a year where no one remembers anything. Like, it just suddenly skipped ahead a year. And the Avmatoran also function as stem cells for the Great Spirit Robot, essentially, and get transformed into, a different thing if need be. The Borak, which was evidenced by, like, some cave carvings in the original story. So all of the Borak are Avmatoran. So that's kind of fucked up. And also, another thing about the Makuta that we'll learn about soon is that Makuta aren't just like normal Bionicle creatures. They aren't like everything else. The Makuta evolved to be made out of antidermis, which is like this dark gas of shadows, which can possess robotic bodies. So we'll go into more of this later. Every Makuta is possessing essentially a flesh mecha, but the flesh mecha is also made out of liquid protodermis, so it's, yeah. Also, before we go even further in this movie, you might remember different names for all of these guys. That's because Lego was racist. So a bunch of a bunch of things in Lego Bionicle are just Maori words of the Maori people, and they were just kind of pissed at some of the words being holy words that they used, or like words important to their culture. Like the Matoran were originally called Tohunga, Jaller was originally called Jala, and you know they eventually changed these names. They made new standards for Lego to avoid this happening again, and the Lego group promised to be never, ever, ever, ever racist ever again. And they tried. And after this, the tribal theming of Bionicle just slowly disappears over the years and gets replaced by sci-fi and Latin elements. But weirdly, liquid protodermis as a name shows up before this. So they just thought that would be funny to add in. So hence why, like, we get the Glatorian, which are all, like, Latin stuff. So, oops. Back to the plot, though.
Yeah, so we have Makuta Pterodax and oh my god, Takanuva, basically just fighting one-on-one, light versus dark, good versus evil. And they're basically playing a very thematic game of Koli with their attacks, where Koli is a game being set up at the start of this film, which is pretty much just kind of like a sport between Matorans.
It's lacrosse. It's lacrosse.
Yeah, and just like lacrosse, it is very gay.
It's very homoerotic.
So Takanuva tries to make like this kind of last-ditch attack against Pterodax, landing them both in the pool of liquid protodermis. As we know, this always ends up well. They end up fusing into one being known as Hakuta Nuva, the perfect ambivalently good...
Perfectly ambivalent to good and evil.
The being perfectly ambivalent to good and evil. Kaita of light and shadow, Kaita being Bionicle fusion, remember? The most powerful being in the Matoran universe, and with that opens the way to the abandoned city of Metronui, create a new haven for the inhabitants of the island of the Mountain Island. The fusion breaks, Takanuva revives, and Makuta escapes into his ghostly antidermis form. Here is where we find out the antidermis stuff. So this is where we kind of have explained it before. Makuta exists as a gas of antidermis, not protodermis, and can pretty much possess other members.
And if they're in this state for too long, like, they just dissipate and die. So it's really important for them to have a body.
Stay tied to a physical form.
And it's a really good point in time. Usually we say this on the first slide, but we talked about being homoerotic. While there are many instances where very clearly the Bionicle characters are into each other and want to fuck, Bionicle canonically do not fuck. In terms if they're Matoran, Toa, any inhabitant of the Toa or the Matoran universe, they do not fuck. They do not.
Now, the Glatorian universe, I guess there could be an argument, but I would say for the culture.
No, they're nasty. I'm pretty sure they explain that they get down and nasty.
Are they? Thank God. God forbid Glatorian thing.
So this is like the toy version of Makuta. It looks nothing like the film. But this is like
Takuta Nuva.
Oh, this is Takuta Nuva? Sorry, I couldn't tell because there's no difference.
Yeah, so yeah, it doesn't look anything like this in the movie, and I just think there's like fun in that out.
Because like the movie was made with really early prototypes of the toys. So like it looks completely different. The color palettes are completely different things. So that's fun. So trouble in paradise. We just got to another era of peace. But unfortunately, 6 corrupted Skakti criminals from the Dark Hunters, Skakti being yet another different species in the Matoran universe, escape from their prison, intent on stealing the Konohia Nika, the Mask of Life, which can jumpstart the Great Spirit robot if it dies, and can also destroy all life in the universe if the robot decides to go rogue. It is the ultimate life or death system to control the Great Spirit robot experiment. And these Skakti are called the Paraka, which is like a slur in the Matoran language meaning despicable, evil criminal. We made Bionicle N-word, essentially. It's quite weird that they get called the Paraka. It's quite strange that that's just what they printed on the toys, when in universe, like, they don't call it a slur, but it's completely treated like a slur.
Yeah, I don't know. They made a rap about it, though.
They made a rap about it. Yo, Paraka!
So, like, who knows, really? Is it a reclaimed word?
I think it's stolen, because they're evil, despicable criminals.
That's what I thought.
But they're also...
So they're a team of 6 colorful freaks.
Yeah, because they're a team of 6 multicolored people. They're really easy to pass off as, like, Tuah. On a new island, Voyanui, where the Konohia Nika is hidden. So they enslave the local Matoran, hiding as Matoa, or hiding as, like, Tuah, including Velika, who, you don't know this yet, is the Great One who's hiding as a Matoran and caused all of this free will to happen and has caused every genocide up to this point indirectly by doing that. And they're building a fortress which you could buy in stores now. So the Toa Nuva go to investigate since they hear about, like, this weird stuff going on, like, Voyanui, but they get imprisoned by the Paraka. So the Konohia Nika, which, because it is the Mask of Life, contains life of its own, decides to loan its powers to 6 new Matoran, the members of the Chronicles company, Sans Takua. And these become the Toa and Nika. At this point, this is where we would play the ad that has All American Rejects playing. Because it's really awesome. Yeah, this one.
We should put the Bionicle every generation in, but, like, this one's the one that, like, has. Because it's just too funny. Yeah, this is the point where, like, Bionicle, the toy line, like, really was kicking off, and they're just like, yeah, we're gonna, like Mark.
The peak year was 2003. This is when it's like the fans are growing up, so they become edgier to...
Yeah.
To follow that. And it becomes super duper cool.
Yeah, it's got a chain link fence.
Yeah, it is of the times.
Yeah, like, really just think of anything that used chain link fence back in, like, the early, like, the late aughts, early...
Like, all of the aughts, it's this.
Yeah,
so
no, it's real.
The new Toa and Nika come to battle the Paraka and free the Toa Nuva, the Toa they had once saved defending the island from the Borak. They defeat the Paraka, but lose the Toa and Nika in the Pit, proper noun, an underwater prison that has mutagenic waters, and holds the once proud Baraki warriors that have now been mutated into ugly fish creatures due to trying to do a genocide. They were like warlords, and then they got punished, and they got put into the pit, and now they're like ugly fish creatures that can't leave the water. Just assume there's another genocide. So the Toa Nika travel to Marinui, and become underwater warriors, the Toamari, in order to fight the former warlords in the pit alongside a bunch of other mutated ancient evils. And they do fight them off, get the Kanohi Anika, and sink the island of Voya Nui to plug a hole in the Great Spirit robot, which was slowly killing it from the crash. But there is a catch. This isn't enough. This does not kickstart the Great Spirit robot again. And they must give up one of their lives in order to use the function of the mask that will essentially act as the spark to reignite the Great Spirit robot. The defibrillator that will start its heart again. This is a very tough decision.
Which of the Toamari step up?
It is Matoro, a Christ-like figure. We've known Matoro since the beginning. He is a pure-hearted He was a pure-hearted Matoran. He worked under a Toraga who was one of the Toa Hordika. And in honor of that, he spoke in the Rahi language for the rest of his life. And Matoro served as his interpreter to make him heard to the world. And he bravely stepped up, saved people on Borak Day, B-Day if you will. He stepped up, got a Kanohi power that was evil. One of them was mind control. One of them was creating evil zombies. He was tempted multiple times to be evil, but he denied it. He avoided the temptation like Christ himself, and eventually he gives up his life so everyone else may live on beyond him, stopping Jollar or anyone else on the team from taking that hit for him, and lives as a true hero. Anyways, you want to talk about the Mystica and Fantoka?
Oh, I'd love to. First, in chat, I don't mean that in a bad way. This makes my brain want to blow up. Good. That means it's working as intended. Yeah, so pretty much once all of that has gone over, the Toa Anika come into battle, and it's them versus the Paraka. They're able to free... Oh, wait. I'm reading
what?
Slide.
The Mystica and Fantoka.
Yeah, no,
like the
sorry,
robot is alive,
yeah.
but it's still like
so the
not
robot
functional.
is alive. Yeah, so like we've revived the robot, we've succeeded in our goal, but it hasn't woken up. So now we have a task listed by the scroll of preparation that is basically a to-do list of things in order to get the robot fully restarted and booted up, and that will return it to Baramag. So the Toa Nuva are required the need to don adaptive armor to traverse different biomes of Cardanu.
Spinal cord of the universe.
Oh,
really.
the spinal cord. I was like, what does cord of universe mean? Spinal cord of the universe, of course. Where they need to fulfill
or maybe
more
the core of the
trials.
universe even.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah, but then pretty much we have war breaking out across Matoran while this is all happening.
Because
so with the Kanohi, it was so inspired actually by Matoro's ultimate sacrifice, whole vibe in general, that it decided to grant itself life as Toa Ignika and fight as a Toa alongside brethren Destiny Wars.
Which is like Infinity Wars for
Destiny.
For Bionicle, which they also have their own version of the Suicide Squad, which we won't get into now, but yeah.
Yeah. So they're able to fulfill all the trials, but it's still just not enough, and the robot is not coming online. So after fighting as a so then Toa Ignika realizes sentient being of the Kanohi Ignika pretty much learned and came to love and respect the people of the Matoran universe and all of their sacrifices, that it is able to finally make the same sacrifice that spawned its existence from Matoro and pay the favor back and sacrifice itself to start up the robot yet again.
Yeah, for some reason they look like this now.
Yeah, those are the Mystica.
Anyways, epic prank gone wrong, gone genocidal. Makuta Pterodax, actually, let's talk about this for a little bit more. We have more time here than we have in the actual presentation, so we can stop and talk about this shit. For some reason, they made these guys look like this. This is supposed to be Tahu, which does not look like this. This is Pohatu. This is...
Yeah, because it was like only half of two for each line.
Yeah. And then the rest were the villains.
Because 3 of them became Mystica, 3 of them became Fantoka. Which we should probably put it.
No. But Gali...
Yeah.
Gali looks, for some reason, like a blue version of the Ice Toa... I can't believe I'm forgetting his name.
Not
Nupar, that's a Palmatoran.
I know.
It is it's been like a year since we touched this. Kopaka.
Duh. Oh, Kopaka's ice. Sorry, I thought you were talking about...
Yeah. So Kopaka, for some reason, looks like Kopaka except blue. But anyways, this is like where the line starts to die out. So epic prank gone genocidal, gone wrong, gone sexual, gone genocidal. Makuta Pterodax tricked everyone into actually reviving the Great Spirit Robot, because since he is made of that antidermis, he could possess it. So he tricked everyone into doing this shit so he could possess the Great Spirit Robot. So no matter what, he won, whether they failed to or succeeded at it. And Makuta Pterodax now plans to use his giant-ass robot form that's the size of a planet to conquer other planets without any resistance, because the Matoran universe itself isn't enough. And he decides to start with Bara Magna. So he seals Matanui's actual soul, his spirit, or sprit as the slides say, inside the inert Kanohi Ignika and launches him into space. Luckily, he lands on Bara Magna, which has just been reduced to super duper Mad Max territory. It's like the jump from Mad Max 1 into the jump to the rest of the Mad Max, like Thunderdome and everything else. That just fights for entertainment and resources entirely, completely devoid of hope. And Matanui becomes the Toa Matanui, the Toa of life, and fights to unite all of the battling tribes against the oncoming Great Spirit Robot controlled by Makuta Pterodax. And we do our second example of Infinity Wars. I guess you could say that the first one was Secret Wars. This is Infinity War.
Yeah. So the Great Spirit Robot eventually ends up landing on Bara Magna. And all of its inhabitants are there. But then we're realizing we're seeing all the terrible things that have come from the War-torn world. Not only the Skrull, the evil Glatorian Stone Tribe, the Batera from one of our first slides, the genocidal robots that were designed to kill anything with a weapon, to be anti-war devices. And then Toa Matanui. So we kind of have these 3 main factions. Luckily, Toa Matanui's are allies. But yeah, we pretty much just have a giant war breakout amongst everything and everyone, where Toa Tahu gives up his Toa Nuva powers and has to go on a quest, Golden Armor. which is a pretty much a MacGuffin that he needs to find in order to get the power up necessary to take on.
Yeah, so they could release the original
all their
Toa Tahu figure again, but like with different parts.
True. Well, no. So Toa Matanui could enact plan of re-releasing Toa Tahu on store shelves. So Toa Tahu is able to don the golden armor and fight, taking down wave after wave of enemy, until Toa Matanui sees his chance, and is able to, with the Agori villages and villagers, able to piece together the first version of the Great Spirit Robot that was scrapped, and pretty much makes a new giant robot body for him to inhabit and fight Makuta Pterodax that is taken originally.
Just of note, the first spirit robot that they built like exploded, and then they built the second spirit robot. We didn't mention it at the time, but for some reason they just did Bionicle Challenger Tragedy, which I think is really strange.
Yeah, but worth note to point out. So yeah, they're able to do that. And pretty much he has to destroy himself in the home of all of the inhabitants of the Tauran universe, but using kind of first failure of self. So it's this big giant robot versus giant robot showdown. Very cool.
Chicks dig giant robots.
No, that's so true.
So here he is in his golden armor and Matanui with the Mask of Life.
Which we don't talk about Legend Born. It really doesn't do anything for the Bionicle lore. Oddly enough.
Bionicle Endgame. So Makuta falls completely destroyed by Matanui's new form and might. Matanui, however, expended too much energy in this battle. He's fading fast. And he uses his final breaths, his last bits of might, to fuse the three planetoids back into Spherus Magna, letting Boda Magna be alive again, and the oceans to once again flourish the planet. Plant life returns, and it's beautiful. All of the rest of the energy is fused with the planet and brings life again. After millennia of war, death, genocide with toys, and lots of product moved, sans a lot in this later years, the Matoran, Agori, Glatorian, and every other species on Bionicle in the world of the Biological Chronicle know peace. And the Biological Chronicle itself has finally reached its end. Here he is, fusing the planets back together in his noble sacrifice. So that would be a really good point to end the story, right? It wraps up everything, everything in this nice happy ending. The toy line is ending because the sales diminished over the years. And, that's a good place. It's a little quick, but, it wraps everything up. I think that's a pretty fine place to end. So anyways, here's a short list of plot elements that they just brought up once and never mentioned again. The Red Star, which is where Bionicle species in the Matoran universe respawn. This is where all of the Matorans and other species, like, if they die, they get sent to the Red Star, which is a satellite around the Great Spirit Robot, and they get rebuilt. Eventually, it stops doing that. And there's sinister reasons behind this. There's Tren Krom, which is Bionicle Cthulhu, which is like this another mind-controlling being, which also controls Lewa, and is just kind of menacing in the background. Everyone is kind of close to death or dying, and we don't really address that. There's more genocide robots that are waking up on Boda Magna, now that's fused again. The gold-skinned being is like this weird thing that kind of looks like a Paraka that's on the Red Star and doing evil shit. The Element Lords, which are also created by the Great Beings, exist. We might have toy designs for these now, from stuff that the Bionicle creators have revealed, and by giving certain people files. They're just kind of in the background and evil. Takanuva is going through a just warp tour through different dimensions and was grabbing different people for the final battle. That was something that happened. The Sisterhood of the Skrull, which are all of the female Skrull, are formed like a cult which worships a Nona and revives a Nona, creating like the dreaming plague again, the dreaming curse. And Velika is there, and you know, they had storylines after Bionicle had officially ended as a toy line written by Christian Faber. And eventually they just don't follow any of that stuff up because Christian Faber got moved on to different projects, and they stopped writing the Bionicle story, leaving it into a place that is a cliffhanger on all ends. But is this really a bad thing? The real biological Chronicle is not the one you build, is the one you build inside your head. It's not Jover till you let it be Jover, bros. The famous quote by Jesus Christ, well, not by Jesus Christ, in the book, the Bible written by Jesus Christ, said by the character God in the Bible. I think it's really fitting that the series ends in a way that you have to finish the story. You have to build it yourself. It is entirely a creative exercise on your part. It is up to you, and this has led to a lot of fan creations over the years, and a lot of fans filling in the blanks where they need to be filled in. And I think that's kind of beautiful for an ending of the series. Would have preferred it to have like an actual ending? Maybe. But Bionicle was built to go on indefinitely, and they would have added on more lore whether you liked it or not. So maybe it's best to end it in a place where you can make up the rest. And there's plenty years of content to make. People have been making mocks for a long time, and it's just kind of a wonderful thing to see. Cody, do you have any more thoughts?
I don't think so. This is usually the part where we also justify that it is a plus panel because we will inevitably show Bionicle Titty.
Yeah, we show Bionicle Titty. We Google Bionicle Titty. We show everyone. We won't do that on Twitch.
But it's an experience for sure.
People like to build their own Bionicles with huge jugs, and it's kind of awesome.
I like the ones that like are able to expand their breasts. Like they have a mode change, but it's they get bigger boob.
Yeah, the breast expansion mode, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I like how much they prioritize posability, specifically in the groin.
Yeah, and like also we handed out condoms after one thing because we were like decided like, hey, if we had to fight to make this 18+, we might as well make this 18+. And we handed out condoms to everyone who asked or answered a question. And some guy approached us afterwards and said, hey, I got a few condoms. Could you give me some more? And we're like, yeah, just take the whole bag. And we see him and like 20 other people funnel into one hotel room afterwards. Because it's like one of those fancy Hyats. Where it's just like a big atrium and everything is like leading to a center catwalk that leads to the center elevators. And you can see essentially the entire hotel. It's like the elevator acts as like some strange panopticon or reverse panopticon. So yeah. And we see him and 20 other people funnel inside a room, and we could only assume that he was having an orgy with all of the condoms that we gave him. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. notably funny how we were not asked to be a part of it. They knew. They knew
I'm
not to
pretty
ask.
sure we made a big deal about our status as powerful virgin wizards.
Well, it's true. It's true. But yeah. I mean that's Lego one. I would say that joke is more applicable to Ninjago, but think about it. Is it really?
Sorry, guys, I got lost. I thought this was the lore of Bakugan Gandalian Invaders panel.
Oh, sorry. So the lore of Bakugan and Gandalian Invaders is that Spin Master wanted to make more money. Unfortunately, they did not know how.
The lore of that is anyone would show up to a panel titled that. I'm sorry. I'm handing out full-size chocolate bars.
If we had a Bakugan lore panel, we would have to do a lot of original research ourselves because, like, the Bionicle wiki is not a reliable source because it goes off of the dub. Like, we'd have to watch the freshly, newly subbed releases of Bakugan in order to actually do that. Ironically, they're subbing through... The entirety of Mectanium Surge is subbed, I think. I could be wrong on that. The entirety of Japanese Nuvastroya is subbed. And they're getting really close to finishing Gandalian Invaders. The only series that is, like, only, like, a quarter through, or, like, barely even subbed, is the original Bakugan. Which I find hilarious. But yeah, that's Bionicle lore. We just need to do it faster tomorrow, which I think we will, and because we'd be in person, and we can bounce off each other instead of just awkwardly swapping off.
True. It won't be a team meeting.
Yeah. So yeah. We're doing this tomorrow at a con.
Good luck.
Oh, we'll...
If anything, you should be saying that to the people sitting.
Are you guys going to record it again and upload it again?
No, we have a recording of the last time we did it as well. We're just using that for, like, any footage we need in the future.
Okay.
Because originally we were going to do another con vlog, but then we decided not to.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of had the con story, but, like...
We had the story. It would have been good. I just didn't want to make it.
Yeah, and... sometimes it's nice to keep stuff for us.
Like, we had a full storyline. It was really good.
Not everything.
Not everything. I will say, one of my favorite videos on our channel is the first con vlog.
Oh, I agree.
I would kind of like to do one of those in the vein of Bork Blade Best, where we send Bork to another Beyblade tournament. But yeah. That's all I got. Let's watch Bill Maher fumble again.
True.
No.
You know.
Oh, I see.
I might call you Grandpa.
See this bitch again.
Like...
And he just fucking dies. He just stares off into the distance and it dies.
I mean, what else can you do, you know?
Who up buying land in the metaverse?
Next wave is digital, catch me on the way up. The glow up is visible, couple.
Bro.
I would, like, download Atlas Earth to see what it is if it wouldn't, like, use my phone to mine crypto. Which is what it seems to, like, advertise to do.
Yeah.
Sweet. So I can, like, just quit my job and do this full time? Nah,
Yeah, it's working as intended.
Download a bunch of games that you find in the most annoying ads possible.
I just like how I just like how his outfit is all white on
You hear
white.
the YouTube streamer that decided he's going to stream himself 1 month in solitary confinement, and he's 3 weeks in, and he's just like smashing the fucking walls now.
Is this Mr. Beast?
No.
Because Mr. Beast had a video with that premise, but I don't think he actually went through with it.
No, I think
Like, I'm going through this guy's channel now. Like, he has been streaming for the past 3 weeks, and you could go through and look at all the thumbnails, and you could just see the hole in the wall getting progressively larger and larger.
Will he get out?
True.
Like, I feel like we're creating a Batman villain. Can you give me the name of this channel?
Oh, hold on, I'll drop link in chat so you
Okay.
can look through the thumbnails.
So, one more thing about Atlas Earth. There's like a whole line about like, hey, so I can quit my job and do this full time, and like the Atlas Earth narrator says, no, you cannot do that. No.
Wait, I
He's
just
like-
noticed this guy's channel description.
He's like,
Achievement: stayed awake for 12 days, didn't
So it's
blink
like,
for 2
sorry,
hours,
buddy.
6 minutes, ate a cactus.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to my serial killer resume.
Norm. Solitary confinement with no light. This is Russian sleep experiment, right?
This man's literally streaming his own personal Russian sleep experiment on himself.
I made Garten of Ban, Toys More Dangerous, Why I Got Arrested,
Channel Raw.
You gotta go-
Roblox.com,
Yeah, you had to go to the live
Yeah.
tab.
and I just think it's really 432 people. Let's do a let's look at these. Like once he walks
God.
outside, like he's going to be blinded, right?
Will he film it?
1 month in solitary confinement, no light. To test if I go crazy. Test if?
That's true. Maybe
Let's look at
there
the... Okay, so no hole here. We have the starts of a hole over here. Does he jack off? Was that jacking off?
I feel like this is no fap behavior.
This is no fat behavior. Okay. So we get... the hole grows in size rapidly.
That's not a hole. That's not a hole.
This is now a new door. Does he go outside with this?
I think. Bro just found a bombable wall in his Zelda game.
Will any Japanese YouTuber accept my
Okay, let's pause that before he says something racist.
That is a massive hole in the wall. I like to think that this is like some fucking SCP. There's nothing. There's the infinite void on the other side there.
I like to think that this is like the school that drifts through time.
Yeah, the glass.
Very
elevator
interesting
could just go
moment.
up. Oh my god! What if Jumbo Josh was in through that hole?
78. Are you thugging?
$10? He gets food?
$5 he does a handstand. $20 straight jacket for 15 minutes. $50 mouth tape for 1 hour.
Is he brushing his teeth? How long is he brushing his teeth? I feel like he's rubbing his gums raw. I skipped ahead. Like, fuck.
Oh my god.
He's just pulling his teeth out.
His gums have to be like blood, right?
Oh, probably.
Oh, he's farming a new hole. There's a new hole. New hole alert.
New hole.
God, the speed run time. That's killing.
This guy is going to come out and like kill people.
This is literally like like movies. Like this is shit that happens in like a movie. It's like this guy was like
What
locked up.
compels streamers to do this shit?
The same thing that
Money.
Mr. Beast got compelled to. Like, Mr. Beast just had to count to 100,000 and say Logan Paul 100,000 times and, like, do one other thing 100,000 times. This is what you have to start off with to be a Mr. Beast now. Dialysis, 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 dialysis.
Japanese or YouTube?
Pausing that before he's racist again. Now let's go again.
So true.
What is...
Romans 81, therefore there is now no condemnation.
Is that the Riz face?
In Christ Jesus
True. Would you just...
Is he rubbing
I
his
think
nips?
I think if I was just locked in solitary, I would just dedicate all my time to music.
put a stop to this.
I'm shocked no one has, like, called the police for him.
Yeah.
They're just
No,
letting him do this shit.
Yeah, do you think he's like classified as a missing person? Yeah.
And, like, did he tell people first? Did he brief people on this?
Well, they can just check. They can just check my channel.
Yeah.
They can just check in.
Alright,
God,
I'm looking at the
imagine, like,
hours.
being a
There is
parent.
not a single moment, except for like a few minutes between live streams, that is unrecorded.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Alright, you started 3 weeks ago?
super healthy mental.
Where? What does he have? What does he do when he has to piss?
His pants.
That might be what the holes.
What a fun guy.
What a fun guy.
What a fucking freak.
I think we can really call it there for the night.
True.
So thank you for coming out to us practicing the Bionicle lecture. For those of you who stayed or joined on, that's pretty much it. Great alternative to Desert Bus, everyone. It's true. It's true. All right. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.